All right, today we're going to be looking at some of the hairlines of the UFC. We're not picking favorites. We're just going to look at the hairline for what it is. So let's get going. So the first hairline inquisition today is on Tony Ferguson, the guy on the right. He grew up in America, but he's of Mexican descent, which makes sense because just like America liberated half of Mexico back in the day, someone definitely liberated half of this man's hairline. It has been sufficiently Thanos, but there's no Avengers 4 in this timeline. It just ends, and it ends with him having half a hairline. This is decently akin to Moses parting the Red Sea, but he made a mistake and parted Tony Ferguson's hairline, and there's no coming back from that, really, so that's a 3 out of 10. Moving on. The second person about to feel the crusade is Conor McGregor. And to the untrained eye, you might think that this is a pretty good batch of follicles. You'd be wrong. This is a hairline on the defensive for sure. This is the Alamo. This is Hoth, and it's Hoth with no Luke. So they all just die. Nothing good happens. There's no gotcha moment. They all die. The matting down in the middle, it might fool some, but it's not fooling us today. This is clearly a defensive tactic. With that in mind, we're gonna give Conor a gracious 5 out of 10. And that's rounding up for sure. So, thank the professor for caring about your grade. 5 out of 10. Here we have Henry Cejudo, and this hairline is Goot with an umlaut on the U, and quite possibly the best pound-for-pound hairline we're going to see. It's probably going to go in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's just a lush rainforest, just a dense, vibrant environment. It's the Roman Empire at its pinnacle. It really just can't be beat. Easy 10 out of 10. Undisputed 10 out of 10. Here we have Daniel Cormier. And, this is the first hairline of today that is really just beyond any rescue attempt. This is the siege of Berlin. It's game over. To actually find this hairline, we're going to need some charcoal and some carbon paper and Indiana Jones to help me reach that hairline's tomb. And once we're there, we're going to be excavating it like an artifact. It's just gone. And it's a bummer because DC is a really great guy, double champ at one point, but we got to see through the mist. We can't let that cloud our judgment. We got to judge this hairline for being a hairline, and it's a rough one. It's 2 out of 10. It's been through too much, and he did the right thing by putting it out of its misery and shaving his head. Very, very commendable on his part. So this picture is a good segue into John Bones Jones's hairline inspection. And much like its owner, Jones's hairline is a pretty slippery little bastard. It is definitely in a state of decline, that much we know. But much like its master, we are all waiting for some heinous mistake and for the hairline to start praying to God. I will say I don't think it's at Dust Bowl levels of depression yet, but I think it's rapidly approaching that sort of dip. And given this man's past experience with, blowing coke, dick pills, some Soviet sports supplements, it's pretty easy to infer where the damage to the infrastructure is coming from. I'll give it to him. It's definitely still a line in its classical definition, but I mean, it starts really high up on his forehead, man. Exhibit B I'd like to bring on the dossier is that he keeps on shaving it off, which to me seems like a sign of low morale on the home front. So I give this hairline 4 grains of sand per swimming pool of volume. There's definitely some picograms of follicles left, but their time is limited for sure.